Good evening. This is Tini Dawn from News in English, read to you by Aloysius Laukai. First, the headlines. President calls on people to assist the government by obeying state of emergency orders. Ward member wants people to take COVID-19 awareness seriously. Lack of fast boats are concerned for border surveillance in Bougainville. Bougainville Deputy Controller appeals to the National Emergency Operations Center to return the sample results. Office of the Member for South Bougainville urges public not to criticize state of emergency enforcers on social media. Now the news in detail. The ABC President, Grand Chief Dr. John Mommis, today called on the people of Bougainville to follow the state of emergency orders made by the controller to control the unnecessary movement of people throughout the region. Speaking on New Dawn FM this afternoon, President Mommis said that Bougainville had no capacity to contain the pandemic if it reaches our shores, and the only solution was to stay at home at this time and obey the state of emergency orders. President Mommis said that the coronavirus has created many problems throughout the world, including deaths of thousands of people. He said the virus is hitting developed countries because they have many people moving around spreading the virus. President Mommis said that all Bougainvilleans must help in making sure this virus does not reach us by locking all our borders and by making sure nobody crosses the borders between Solomon Islands and Bougainville, and also by adhering to strict rules of hygiene, of washing hands, keeping distances from friends, and other issues being explained by medical professionals. He said that the pandemic has disturbed our lives, but once this is over, we can return to normalcy. President Mommis said Bougainville population is small, and if we are not careful, we could lose many of our people. The ward member for Laguai in Buin, South Bougainville, has urged his people to take heed of the information presented to them by the COVID-19 awareness team and take necessary precautions to prevent COVID-19. Ward member Joseph Kakata made this appeal to his people when the Boubaké COVID-19 awareness team visited Baranai village to conduct the awareness. Mr. Kakata said that the rate which the deadly virus is moving is very fast, and people must be alert and take preventive measures to prevent this COVID-19 from spreading. He said being obedient and taking into account the preventive measures are the only ways to prevent the deadly virus. The Buin-based Community Auxiliary Police Liaison Officer Lawrence Ampa also appealed to the people of Laguai to be the eyes and ears for the police. Mr. Ampa explained the SOE orders to the people and urged that the people comply with these orders enforced. He said police do not have much capacity to maintain the borders and asked the people to report any illegal entries into the communities from communities of Boubaké community government. The State of Emergency Controller in Bougainville, Deputy Commissioner Police Francis Tokura, has raised a concern on the lack of fast boats for border surveillance in Bougainville. Mr. Tokura told the House of Representatives last Friday that the lack of fast boats to police the borders is a concern for him as the State of Emergency Controller and Chief of the Bougainville Police. He said even though border surveillance has been stepped up in South Bougainville at Kangu and in Central Bougainville at Sirovai, police were not able to police the border in North Bougainville as Tasman because of the lack of capacity the Bougainville Police has. Mr. Tokura said numerous requests have been made for assistance following on the Memorandum of Understanding that was signed between the Royal Papua New Guinea Constabulary and the Solomon Islands Police to be able to have some form of capacity to police the borders. He added that the patrol of the borders was a follow-up from the lockdown of the borders by the national government. Though the Bougainville Police Service has tried its best, it still has not been able to adequately border the borders between Solomon Islands, PNG at South, Central and North Bougainville. You're listening to New Dawn FM News in English. State of Emergency Deputy Controller and ABG Chief Secretary Thomas Rivet has appealed to the National Emergency Operations Center in Port Moresby to quickly bring back the results of the 2 samples of persons under investigation that identified in Bougainville. He asked the National Emergency Operations Center to do Bougainville a favor and give the results quickly. Deputy Controller said the coronavirus does not know politics, that the politicians should leave the politics aside and let Bougainville do its affairs in containing the virus. In support for the Deputy Controller's appeal, the Buka Health Secretary Clement Totavun said the people are anxious to know the results as quick as possible. Health Secretary said that he has been sending emails to the people in Port Moresby, but they are still unanswered. Not when the English Bulletin, Second Secretary of the Office of the Member for South Bougainville, Chris Nawa, has urged the young population of South Bougainville and educated professionals not to criticize task force and people in charge of the SOE on social media. Mr. Nawa said people must respect the SOE orders and the people who are contributing in enforcing the orders. He said people are complaining on SOE patrolling that police are restricting their rights to do things in society. He said work of policemen and women should be respected and should not be criticized on social media. Mr. Nawa said whoever hiding behind fake name on Facebook and continue to criticize the work of the SOE task force will be caught and law will deal with them. This has been the New Dawn FM News in English. You can also see our news on the websites on www.bougainvillenews.com, www.bougainville.taipei.com. You can also follow us on Facebook and Twitter. You can also listen to us on New Dawn FM YouTube page. On behalf of the news team, I'm Aloysius Laukai. You have a pleasant evening.